I want to ask you this question. How did you get involved in worship leading, or when did you get involved in worship leading? And let me give you the context of the question. I see this room here, this church here, as an incubator. So many dreams are going to be hatched here. Dreams of serving God, dreams of greatness for God. I see this as a greenhouse, and I know many trees and fruits are going to grow out of this place. So sitting here could be a 13-year-old, 15-year-old, and he could be the next Matt Redman or the next missionary or the next pastor. So how did you get started? You know, your process and your journey can encourage them.
What happened for me was I saw worship happening in our church through music, and it was so appealing to me that I actually went to learn the guitar so that I could play the songs at home. I loved what happened in worship, and I kind of taught myself. I can't read music now still.
I hope that encourages many of you.
Yeah.
Matt Redman, Grammy Awards winner, cannot read music.
You should learn that though. Don't let me be an excuse for your laziness. But you know, I started to lead worship. I started to write songs, and I just loved what happened. I loved something about the way a song can go so very deep into someone's heart, and it can carry truth, it can carry hope, it can carry all sorts of amazing stuff, and songs, just a wonderful way that we can travel together in worship. And I just loved it. I loved what I did, and I had a very good youth pastor, and I was in a very good church. It's very much like yours in that some churches say you have to be this old or this experienced to carry anything in leadership. Or my church was not like that. It was very young. It would encourage you to get involved, and I loved that. I loved they would trust me. There was times where I thought I wouldn't trust me with this. I don't know. I hope you know what you're doing. And I remember one time it was on a New Year's Eve worship party, and I was about 15 years old, 16 maybe. And the pastor told me, you need to stop now because it's gone past midnight and, you know, it's late. And I just had this one more song I wanted to tag on to the end, and I thought it's just going to lead us to an amazing climax place. And so I put this song in there, slightly ignored what he said, and it was an amazing time. Then afterwards, he took me in the room at the back. He said, I told you to stop. You know, you need to learn about authority. And I was like, yeah, but you were wrong, because look what happened when I did, you know. And he said, no, it doesn't matter about that. You're under authority. And it was really good to start learning some character things. Wow. And he explained to me how a leader or even a Christian of any kind, you know, it's like a boat. With the design of a boat, what's below the waterline has to outweigh what's above the waterline. That's good. Otherwise, you know, you'll be safe in the harbor. You'll be fine. It doesn't really matter there. But you get out on those seas, and the first sign of strong wind or waves, you're going to be in trouble if what's below the waterline isn't outweighing what's above the waterline. And sometimes we're just concerned, you know, even if you or I were to walk down to a boatyard, we might see, oh, that's a lovely boat. It's got, I don't really know about boats, but it's got a nice steering wheel thing, whatever that's called. And it's, you know, it's got lovely shiny decks. That's about all I know. But you know, oh, it's got a nice Singapore flag, you know, something like that. But if a boat designer was to go to that boatyard, they might say, that looks great, but I wonder what it's like below the waterline. I wonder what the design's like. And I think God's a little more like that with our lives. And he wants to trust you with stuff. He's got some cool stuff that he wants you to run with in this life. Some of it's going to be in church and in leadership here. Other of it's going to be outside of the walls of the church. He's got some amazing stuff, and he just wants to check if you're going to be okay carrying it. When you get out there on the seas of life, and whether acclaim comes your way or whether a hardship comes your way, how are you going to respond? How are you going to be? Is there enough character below the waterline for you to carry some cool stuff? And I was so grateful to be in a church where they were teaching me that stuff early on in life.
That's beautiful. Come on, let's give Jesus a big hand clap for that one. Character. So please turn to your neighbors and say, character.